So one of the big developments on the crypto Twitter, as I call it, X, is the IMF talking about calling Bitcoin digital gold. Now, we're going to talk about that. Did it really happen? I'm going to review with you the document where all this is coming from. We're going to talk about if this really happened or if it didn't happen and what possible outcomes can this have for crypto. In the meantime, if you're not a subscriber, now's the time to hit the subscribe button, like, share, do all those things. I'd be grateful for your subscription, and I'd love to see you here every day as we talk about all things crypto. And with that, let's get into talking about let's talk about this IMF development. So I'm going to go, this is the crypto Twitters. If you're not, if you don't follow me on X, go ahead and do so. I'm on X. The information will be down below. I do talk, I do get involved quite a bit on there as it's a lot of fun. Anyway, this, so you can see here, Marty Party, huge. The IMF calls Bitcoin digital gold, a turning point. Did they really? Okay, we're going to get into that. New IMF just recognized Bitcoin as de facto digital gold. De facto digital gold. And it keeps going. The IMF has just recognized Bitcoin as de facto. I don't know if any of these people read this document. There's 1,000 pages of this document. I looked at it and I had ChatGPT look it over with me. But let's look right now. What is Bitcoin doing? Well, yesterday, this was announced on the 20th, this information. People didn't really seek it into Twitter until yesterday, even though that document was released by the IMF on, let's see, what is this? March 20th, 2025. So that's when that document was released. But yesterday, we started hearing the grumblings of this IMF release of document. And let's go here. So here's the price of Bitcoin. Since it's really started to hit the streets on the 20th, it didn't do anything because no one really brought it up until yesterday about, I think, I don't know who did it first, but let's just say it was around here. There's been about a 1.67% pump in Bitcoin. I don't know if that's really worthy of calling it a pump, but anything positive right now, I will take. And as you can see, Bitcoin has been trading in a fairly narrow range. It's been kind of ranging from here to, I don't know, on the low side, right around 83. So ranging between 83 and change to about 84 and change, and kind of in that narrow zone for the last couple of days. But let's take a quick, let me fix my camera here. Gosh, there we go. Oh, that's too much. That's fine. Okay, so now look, and so it went up here this morning. There was a lot of grumblings on the Twitter. I gotta stop calling it Twitter. It's X. Boom. All right, so the X, that was so lame. So the X, it's come down, a couple $100, big deal. But we're still above that $84,000 mark. We're above that 84 just barely. It's bouncing off it right now. It's bouncing off the 84 and change and going up. I mean, it's really a little lower, but that all being said, why do people think this? What is actually in that document? And we're going to get into that right now. So I fed this to ChatGPT. I fed it to ChatGPT and asked to review it with me. I read a lot of pages of it. And the document does not directly compare Bitcoin to gold or any other traditional asset class. It mentions Bitcoin specifically only in the context of classifying crypto assets as either non-produced, non-financial assets or financial assets, but does not make any analogies or comparisons between Bitcoin and gold, nor does it suggest Bitcoin could be treated similarly to gold in reserve or investment contexts. Okay, so this document, it's called the Integrated Balance of Payments and International Investment Position Manual. If you want some really good bedtime reading, this is it. If you want to go to bed and you don't want to take all the nasty drugs out there, which I don't recommend whatsoever, not one bit, would be great reading material. I've read several pages of this. I didn't read all 1,000 to be very, very clear and transparent. So what's the purpose? It sets clear, standardized guidelines, definitions, concepts, classifications, and accounting rules for countries complying data on their economic transactions for the rest of the world. It ensures data from different countries is comparable, consistent, and reliable for international analysis, policy making, and economic research. It talks about balance of payments records, all economic transactions, like between countries and other economies. But the big news is here, yes, they did not really compare it to digital gold, but they put it in a similar asset class as gold, but they didn't say that directly from what I've seen so far. I could be wrong. This isn't financial advice. Clearly, I'm not your financial advisor. But in summary, the manual is intended to summarize or standardize and improve the accuracy and relevancy of macroeconomic statistics worldwide, enabling better informed economic policies and analysis at national and international levels. Now, the fact that they're including Bitcoin and digital assets, and there's a chapter on it in chapter 16, that is very strong. It's probably setting up what the rest of the world is setting up for, is really these things to come fast and hard into the economies of the world. All of the groundwork is being set up. Now think about it. You have the United States of America just recently announced a strategic Bitcoin reserve. You have other countries around the world. You have Brazil, El Salvador, Russia, China. They've all talked about digital currencies recently, and the framework is being devised as we speak right now to make these more legitimate. A couple years ago, it was done in the fringes. It was, considered totally totally different, groundbreaking, and almost, a defiance of almost. It's very punk rock. Okay, let's just put it that way. And quite frankly, that's why I got involved with it originally. But that being said, God, I had to fix my camera again. I need a new camera setup. But that being said, I don't think that the IMF directly related it to digital gold. Now, it might put it in a similar category because it's kind of saying it's a commodity, as we've heard it talked about before. IMF didn't say they're going to go buy in Bitcoin and put in a strategic reserve. I've read all kinds of things on X lately about this subject, but the reality is they're bringing it up, and it's creating standardization. It's creating a groundwork for cross-border payments, which might help something like XRP or Bitcoin, for these things, or maybe some of the other cryptos I failed to mention. But that being said, watch the rumor mill. Don't go out and buy on high emotional X comments like this. That will get you burned and wrecked. So what can you do? Well, whenever you hear these rumors, but instead of perpetuating them, go look them up. Find the actual document, run it through ChatGPT, ask it questions, read relevant information, read relevant sections, and then make a decision that's your own. Do your own research. That is entirely up to you, and very important to not rely on me or any other YouTuber. Listen to what they're saying, but then go do your own research, formulate your own opinions. I can't tell you what to do. I can't give you financial advice, so I'm certainly not going to do it. The advice I would give you is to make sure you do your own research and not listen to talking heads on the interwebs. With that being said, thank you for watching, and make sure if you have any questions, comments, anything whatsoever, put them down below. I would love to hear from you. Talk to you soon.